Hi, welcome to the next edition of Tech Tip Tuesday. As always, I'm joined with my main man here, Joe Garay. Joe, say hi to everybody.
Welcome, everybody.
All right. So, Joe, what are we going to talk about today?
Today we'll be talking about a setting within the Samsung 4K TVs. Issue we saw with customer where our own touch display was having a kind of a blurb, but it was actually kind of a signal renegotiation. So what would happen is the configuration was all done, right? The system was up and running, and every once in a while it would renegotiate and the touchscreen would kind of refresh itself, but the whole thing, right? An oddity that we'd experienced. Told the customer, hey, let's take a look at your configuration settings on the Samsung device. And we found a specific setting in there. It's in the CRC protocol called Input Signaling Plus.
Input Signaling Plus, yes.
Yeah. Mark, do you exactly know what that is?
Yeah, so what Samsung does is that it tries to offer you up the ability to custom your TV to basically any input signal there is. So what they do is they offer this Input Signal Plus capability. You can turn it on or off, where we'll expand the range of resolutions and refresh rates available to the device that's plugged in. The unfortunate part about that is I think as it pertains to our ThinkSmart core that was connected up to this particular TV, it didn't like it. It didn't like it one bit. And what happened was I think it got hung up on trying to negotiate an odd resolution that really had nothing to do with anything. You know, like an arbitrary 1440 by 723 or something silly like that. And what ended up happening is the whole system just kind of got stuck in a refresh loop and it just couldn't go anywhere. But the moment they shut that off, poof, came to life and it worked beautiful.
So, question for you: would an EDIT interface fix the problem?
By EDIT interface, I'm assuming you mean EDIT Minder, and yes, likely it would, because what happens is with the EDIT Minder, as we had discussed on the resolution Tech Tip Tuesday video we did a couple weeks ago, it locks down the output to a very specific resolution. So instead of it going like I was suggesting, hey, what resolutions you do? I do blah-blah-blah and blah-blah-hoo, and how's this one? It just says, hey, what resolutions do you do? And the EDIT Minder says, I do 1080p, period. That's it. Give me 1080p. At which point in time our core system says, okay, great, we'll give you 1080p. So I do believe that an EDIT Minder would have solved that problem, along with a whole host of other potential problems that come up with resolutions as it pertains to our outputs from our core.
Now, be advised that Microsoft does recommend these type of devices on those HDMI interfaces, right, as a fix for a lot of these issues. So if you guys don't want to have any problems, be advised, just buy a handful of them.
EDIT Minders are relatively available and relatively inexpensive, so you should be able to just go on to Amazon and figure out just about any old one you can find, as long as it does 1080p. Well, Joe, as always, thank you for joining me here on Tech Tip Tuesday. You know what? I couldn't do these things without you, man, so thank you very much for joining me here today.
Back at you, Mark. You know, with us two, it makes a whole.
It doesn't tell you what kind of hole. Maybe it's a really, really big hole that nobody wants to be in. But you're absolutely right. We are two halves of a hole. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me here today. And to all of those of you who will watch this video, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Do me a favor and leave some comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I appreciate it very much. But until next time, I guess we'll see you then.
See ya. Bye.